Good evening everyone, and welcome to Gundam News. And of course, a new month means a new Gunpla schedule. Although this month is gonna be relatively kind on your wallet, at least in terms of normal releases. First up, on the 21st, you can get the SD Gundam Cross Silhouette Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam for 1,980 yen, 14 US. It comes with 2 beam sabers, which can be connected and come with 2 beam saber blade effect parts, 2 beam rifles, which can also be connected, the Futsunomitama anti-ship sword, the beam cannon on its forehead can open up, and of course, it comes with the signature feature of the Cross Silhouette line. You can either build it with the more stocky SD frame, which then pairs nicely with the eyes that have pupils, or you can go for the more lean Cross Silhouette frame, which then pairs nicely with the normal eyes. Other features are that the Proud Defender can be displayed separately, should you want to, and that it can also use the beam shield that is included with the high-grade version of the Mighty Strike Freedom. And on the same day, you can also get the Lightning Buster Gundam. It goes for 2,860 yen, 20 US, and comes packing with a lot of firepower. Big guns, small guns, missiles, you name it. The big remaining question though is when and how we'll be getting the standard Buster Gundam. And if you haven't ordered yours yet, I'll of course have the links down below. And we also got some new Gunpla news. But first, a quick addition to last week's Gunpla news. One of the new announcements then was the entry grade Strike Rouge. And I got some comments like, wait, didn't we already get an entry grade Strike Rouge Gundam? And well, yes, I totally forgot about the Strike Rouge that was bundled together with snacks that we got like 2 years ago. But this new entry grade, well, this new version is slightly different. The base mobile suit is still the same, but it now comes with a beam rifle and shield inside of the armor Schneiders, and it also comes with that marking sticker for Kigali's personal emblem. Also, the old one was more limited in that once it was sold out, it was sold out, and it only got 1 restock. Our 2 new announcements then are even more limited. The first one is the Gundam Base Limited RX-78-3 G3 Gundam version 3.0, going for 5,280 yen, 37 US. And there's not too much I can say about this thing, other than that it's a straight up color swap of the RX-78-2 version 3.0, meaning that unfortunately it doesn't come with 2 Hyper Bazookas, just the one. And of course, the 2 Hyper Bazookas have become kind of the famous configuration for the RX-78-3. But you can get this thing from the Gundam base from September 14th. And from Premium Bandai, Bandai has given us more information about the Master Grade Narrative Gundam B-Packs version Katoki. You can either get it as the full set, which includes the base Narrative Gundam plus the B-Packs, which will then set you back 10,450 yen, 73 US, or you can get only the B-Packs, which you can then attach to your Narrative Gundam C-Packs version. And this will only set you back 2,860 yen, or 20 US. However, there are some extra bonuses for buying that full set. So, if you just buy the B-Pack set, you'll get the giant backpack with its 2 giant incomes, 2 weapon display bases to put them on, and 2 wires to guide them, as well as a connector piece to attach them to the backpack of the C-Packs, and the 2 small shields, which can either be used together or separately. With the full set then, you don't just get the base Narrative Gundam included, but also an action base, and a runner with a clear Psycho frame, so you can easily paint it in whatever color you want. When exactly you can pre-order these sets, as well as when they'll be releasing, will be announced soon. Meanwhile, on the figure front then, we're starting with some cute things, like these 2 Lookup figures from Gundam Seed Freedom. We've got Kira and we've got Athrun. Both of them are in their pilot suit, they're slated for a March release, and they go for 4,620 yen each, or 32 US. The good news is that they are standard releases, but if you get the twin set through P Bandai, you'll also get a bonus cushion to put them on. Something more unexpected then is this set of Gundam Seed Freedom nesting dolls. Inside the Zagok is the Infinite Justice Spec 2. Inside of the Infinite Justice Spec 2 is Athrun, and inside of Athrun is Kigali. Remember, dirty thoughts win battles. And this set can be yours on December 21st for 5,500 yen, 38 US. Back to normal then. Pre-orders also began for the Cosmo Fleet Special Nahel Argame RE UC Final Chapter version. This battle-damaged version of the Nahel Argame reproduces its state at the end of the series, and therefore also comes with some heavy weathering. In addition to waterside decals, a base to put it on, and 4 in-scale mobile suits. All of which can be yours in late February for 9,350 yen, 64 US. And for the premium Bandai Limited things, we have the SD Gundam World Armored God Altair Super Armored God True Awakening set. Quite the name for quite the set, because for 11,000 yen, 77 US, it comes with a satellite cannon, wings with effect parts, a sword with beam effect parts, and the ability to combine it with the separately sold Super Armored God Gun Genesis. Other things then that went up for pre-order are these Gundam Seed Freedom bookmarks for 110 yen a pop, less than $1, and the SD Gundam Gaiden Neo Forbidden Magic Cursed Gundgraph set. It includes a booklet and 40 cards featuring characters and mobile suits from Witch from Mercury, but in a more fantasy-esque design. It can be yours in November for 6,000 yen, 41 US, but it is unfortunately Premium Bandai Limited. The bookmarks, by the way, aren't Premium Bandai Limited, but they are randomized, and there are 2 secret ones. And then just today, they showed off an upcoming Gachapon set. The second Gundam Machibouke set. The name basically means that they're waiting endlessly for something to happen, and being mobile suits, this means the order to launch. And so in December, you'll be able to get the Sharzagok, the Standard Dom, the Strike, or the Baku for 400 yen a spin, or 3 US. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, the biggest news again came from Gundam Breaker 4. Now, we already knew that we were getting the Mighty Strike Freedom as a free DLC, but thanks to the success of the game, Bandai also decided to give us the Calibarn, which will be available in Standard flavor and Permit Score 5 flavor. I've heard that it tastes like death. And I think that dual broomsticks are going to look really interesting. In Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation then, the Fafnir has joined the fray, while in the Steam version you can suit up with the Messer FO2, and in UC Engage 2 new events went live. The 2nd of September is Goof Day, meaning a special login bonus for up to 3,000 diamonds and 184 SR Goof blueprints, and the 0088 Pesce Montagne, a Voiceless Whisper 2 story event has gone live. Also giving us a new unit assembly for the UR Pesce Montagne and the UR Engage 0 Yon Favin. And in other news, the English dub for Gundam Seed Freedom has become available on Netflix. The special edition of Freedom will be aired at the Movix Kashinoi Hawa Film Festival with concert-grade audio equipment. Gundam The Origin will be re-edited into 3 movie edition films and will be shown again in Japanese theaters starting September the 13th. But do keep in mind that they already confirmed that there will be no new scenes or like re-edited scenes. I'm pretty sure that all they're gonna do is just like super glue 2 episodes together and call it a day. Next up, we got this unicorn illustration to celebrate Gundam's 45th anniversary. The theme song CD for Silver Phantom will be releasing on November the 20th, which I think is the only physical Silver Phantom thing that has been announced so far at all, which is kind of sad. And to celebrate the G Gundam anniversary, they've begun a special G Gundam radio program on YouTube. The MC for the first episode was the voice actor of Domon, and it also included a segment where mobile fighters created by viewers fought it out. But do keep in mind that this is a radio program, so there's no visuals to support these hypothetical fights. And on top of that, it is of course in Japanese, and it's region locked, so if you want to watch it, you'll need a VPN like NordVPN. And if you use the link down below or the code kkrt, you'll not just get a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. And what you could also get this week were 2 new Gachapon sets. The first one is the Mobile Suit Ensemble Gundam Mecha set. And rather than featuring the usual mobile suits, it's now all about the support vehicles. So for 400 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get 2 core fighters, a core booster, a DOP, a Magella attack, or a Type 61 tank. Or if you want to get more fancy, you can go for the Capsule Action Strike Gundam Premium Gachapon. This means that the figure inside is not only bigger and more impressive, but also that the Gachapon ball that it comes in is bigger as well. And that, of course, the price is higher. Compared to the 300 to 500 yen for a standard Gachapon, the premium Gachapons go for 1,500 yen a spin, or 10 US. And this will then get you the Strike Gundam in either normal colors or clear colors. Kind of a missed opportunity to also have the phase shift down colors in here. Also, remember that if you want striker packs for this thing, those are premium Bandai Limited, so yeah. And then on the 31st, we also got 2 new releases. For 308 yen a pop, 2 US, you could get some Aqueous paints, being either Mighty Strike Freedom Dark Blue or Infinite Justice Spec 2 Pink. And for 9,900 yen, 68 US, you could get the Rick Diaz Ver.ANIME in its original standard colors. It comes with 2 beam pistols, a beam saber with 2 beam blade effect parts, a clay bazooka with firing effect part, 4 thruster effect parts, a bunch of hand options, and some impressive articulation for such a chunky machine. And it's also got some cool gimmicks, like the glue launcher, a movable mono eye, and an opening head cover to reveal those Phalanx Vulcan guns underneath. For this week's reading material then, there was the latest Hobby Japan archive, this time featuring Gundam Build Metaverse, the English ebook version of the 18th volume of Hobby Japan Mechanics featuring Operation V, which has become available on Amazon US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and the Netherlands. There was Sim's Technique file, teaching us all about water-based paint techniques. We got the box art for the G Gundam Official Records Complete Collection, and then the 22nd chapter of Gundam Sequel, and the 16th chapter of the Battle Tales of Flanagan Boone were released for free online and are linked down below. Moving on to this week's apparel news then, where Strict G kicked things off with a new G Gundam collection. From the 31st of August, you were able to get these really nice looking t-shirts or a cap, all for 4,730 yen a pop, 33 US, and then from mid-September, you can also get a tote bag for 2,750 yen, 19 US, a glass for 1,980 yen, 14 US, and a rubber coaster with keychain for 1,430 yen, 10 US. From Bankore, meanwhile, it was all about the acrylic stands. For 2,750 yen, 19 US, there's a light up in the dark acrylic stand with the King of Hearts symbol, the Holer symbol, or the standard Asacacia symbol. For 2,970 yen, 20 US, you can get those same symbols, but on a light up in the dark acrylic plate. And then for 1,100 yen, or 8 US, you can get him as a light up in the dark keychain. And then finally for 1,650 yen, 11 US, you can get a set of 4 mini acrylic stands featuring either Camille, Quattro, or Hamon. And these 4 stands like roughly match up to the scale of the main Gunpla lines, being 1/144th scale, 1/100 scale, 1/60 scale, and 1/48th scale. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Gundam.info wanted to know which pilot we associate the most with the Hizack. And with 58.7%, the overwhelming victor was Jared, meaning that he finally won something other than the consolation prize. Although, I gotta say, when I think Jared and which mobile suits he piloted, the first thing that comes to mind is always the Byerland. And the same kind of goes for the next 2 people in the ranking. In second place, with 20.5%, we have Kakrikon, who I think was most famous for piloting the Marasai, or to be more precise, dying in the Marasai. And in third place, with 13.3%, we have Sarah, who was definitely most famous for piloting the very unique looking Ball and Oak Samon. So, in a way, it's actually the pilot in fourth place that has the biggest connection to the Hizack. Because even though he only scored 7.8%, Kitchman did only pilot a Hizack. So yeah, as for the currently ongoing poll then, since September the 17th is the Harvest Moon, Gundam.info wants to know what we think is the most impressive scene featuring the moon. And I think that even without giving you the options, you'll already know which one is in the lead. So the options are the F91 ending scene, the intro scene of the Dead Scythe Hell in Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the super microwave beam being shot at the Gundam X, or Loran hollering at the moon. So yeah, for me the choice was extremely simple. If I have to think about Gundam and the moon, there's only 2 scenes that come to mind. Well, a lot. Every scene from Gundam X, and then of course, Moon Moon from Double Zeta Gundam, which I prefer to forget about, but whatever. But then we have a very weird difference between Twitter and Gundam.info, because Twitter basically agrees with me. Gundam X is leading with almost 40%, and then the other 3 options are roughly the same with around 20% each. But then on Gundam.info, it's Endless Waltz that's in first place, and with actually quite a large margin. Gundam X is only second, and then F91 and Turn A are duking it out for third place. And while I do agree that like the Dead Scythe Hell's entrance was cool, I feel like the moon was way more of a background thing. Like when I think about the Dead Scythe, I think about just the Dead Scythe and not the moon, which is not something you do when you think about the Gundam X or the Double X. Like the moon is intrinsically linked to that mobile suit, quite literally in fact. But if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.